So the market is pulling back today. And in fact, I'm wondering if maybe we have hit some resistance up here. Joe, usually I say that all-time highs is bullish AF. But what is this? A not new all-time high for a single day? I can't believe what I'm looking at here. I thought new all-time highs meant only new highs all the way up permanently forever. Did I miss something here, Joe?
You must have, if that's what you thought was going to happen. Yeah, the market, it has its ups and downs, and that's why there's a plan, and that's why the plan includes losses, and it includes distances to exits. It's not going to just literally go up and to the right.
But Joe, I thought that's how this always worked. We have to go all the way up and all the way to the right all the time. And if it doesn't do that, then I've done something wrong, right? I thought stocks only went vertical. Anyway, Joe, here's the thing is I was saying, I feel like we need a little cool down in the market. I'm not saying pull back. I'm saying cool down. Reason I'm saying cool down is because the fear and greed value of the market, the SPY itself, in fact, let's pop over to that real quick, or got so hot so fast that the rest of the market couldn't keep up. In fact, looking at the SPY's fear and greed value right now, it's at 67.89. 6789. That actually just happened. It's at 6789 today. Mark that record down. It's at 6789. Now, the fear and greed of everything else is less than that. It's literally every single other sector is less than that. Now, this value is showing you the average of everything in the S&P 500, which is this value right here, 54.89. But the SPY itself just went crazy at 6789. Now, that's why I was saying I feel like the market might need a cool down period to let all the other sectors catch up to it. And in fact, I was scrolling through Twitter, which I don't do much of, and I found this chart. And I thought it was really interesting. There's strong inverse correlation between spikes in U.S. diesel prices and consumer sentiment. Trucking costs are up over 30%, and Americans have spent an extra $10 billion on gasoline over the last 50 days. If you've paid more on gasoline lately, let me know. I just filled up the Lexus. Now, listen, I don't drive very much at all. I go to, I drop off my son at school, I go to the gym, I come home, I go to school, I come back home. That's literally it. I might go 4 miles a day. And so I don't fill up often. And when I did the other day, I was like, it costs how much? I didn't know gas got that expensive. That's crazy, right? Now, what it's saying here is that consumer sentiment has hit a record low. And I found this really, really interesting because it's not just gas, but consumer sentiment as a whole. I'm going to drop off chat for a moment here and drop off Joe and I. Look at this chart. Sentiment today is at 47.6. It's literally not been that low even since before the Great Recession. Can you believe that? Even during the 2008, it was around 60. So what is that telling us? Joe, that tells me there's a lot more broken under the surface than just fuel prices, than just Iran, right? And it probably is playing out across the whole economy. Where I live in Texas, I feel like I'm really like sheltered from what's going on. But tell me in the chat down below if you are feeling this consumer sentiment pinch right here, because I feel like a lot of people are. So which makes it interesting because stocks are hitting new all-time highs. Oil has pulled back hard, but it's still really elevated. It's still at $87. But let's see, from the high of oil to today, it's down about 26%. But prices at the pump are not going to come back down 26% for at least 3, 4, 5 months, right? Frank in Quebec is saying he drives a diesel car, and he's definitely feeling that pinch. Joe, now granted, I live in Texas, so I know oil prices are cheaper here than other places. I saw diesel over $5. I don't think I've ever seen $5 a gallon anything, and I saw diesel over $5 the other day. That was crazy. Dunk has a Tesla. It costs $4 to $5 to fill up at home. Yeah, that's our main vehicle as well as a Tesla, and it costs like $8 for a full tank. Yeah,
Chris, if you're surprised by those prices, wait till you're on vacation in another part of the U.S.
Yeah. Oh, I'm expecting that, and that's okay. That's all right. No stress there. But yeah, I don't really go to the pump that often, so it's a little bit surprising for me. But anyways, I think there is a definite sense of like what the heck is going on here. If we're pushing new all-time highs, we're getting consumer sentiment at potentially all-time lows, and fuel prices are still elevated. There is definitely a what the F is happening. But let's be realistic here. None of that matters, right? Your feelings, as much as you are feeling the pinch, the market's going to continue doing what the market's going to do. You get to decide if you can ride with it, or if you're going to be that guy standing on the sideline saying, no, Mr. Market, you can't be doing that. You need to be coming right back down right now, right? And so here's the thing: the market's rip roaring higher. So by all means, let's get busy, because we have a lot to talk about in the Outlier Trading Room US Investing Championship invitation only live stream. This will help you save time, make money, and start winning with less risk. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Joe, we're so close to 50,000. We're within 1,100 people. If the 1,100 people who watch this video on the replay don't hit subscribe, just go somewhere. Just go listen to some other joker on the YouTubes, right? This is where you need to subscribe. Don't subscribe to anybody else right here, right? Because if you want normal returns, go listen to those jokers. But if you want outlier returns, you're in the right place. We got to talk about our plans. Plan M, ETF, and sit in cash, because we may need to close a trade. We just may need to close a trade. But we needed to look to reduce risk before adding any new risk, because the most important part of the plan is planning on the plan not going to plan. Okay, we need to review our active trade exit signals. These are the exit signals for the plan that I'm in right now. Now, of course, I could go through all the stocks in the S&P 500, but ain't nobody got time for that. I'm only going to go through the ones that I'm in right now. I'm in 13, and of the 13, every single one has a buy signal. So that takes care of this right here. And what we're looking for is any reason, any of these being hit, in order to move on from the trade, and to do nothing in the meantime. So let's start with NVIDIA right here. And Rick, I wanted to play it, but I don't know why it's not uploading. Rick sent us a little, I'll try it one last time. Rick sent us a bumper, a checklist bumper, for stops, cross, blocks, and roll. In fact, give me 2 seconds here. If that's not going to work, I'll pull it up in Discord and we'll watch it from that. Hold on. This is great. This is grade A quality content right here that I want to make sure that we don't miss. The error occurred. Clearly, it's something on my end, Rick. Don't stress on it. Hold tight. Where's Rick? Over here, and then share my screen with sound. Here you go. Grade A quality content coming at you. This is the checklist.
Blocks, earnings, stops, and exit. Oh, that's how outliers roll.
There you go. There's the bumper one more time.
Blocks, earnings, stops, and exit. Oh, that's how outliers roll.
We'll make sure we get the text on there, but cross, blocks, earnings, stops, and that's how outliers roll. I love it. Cross, stops. I said it wrong too. Hang on.
Blocks, earnings, stops, and exit. Oh, that's how outliers roll.
All right, cross, blocks, earnings, stops. That's how outliers roll. A 10-20 cross, running into an outlier block, earnings, or hitting one of our stops. That is how outliers roll. And that's catchy, isn't it? That's real good. I like it. Okay, so let's go over here, and we're going to look at NVIDIA, and we're going to say to ourselves, did we have any of the following? Hang on.
Blocks, earnings, stops, and exit. Oh, that's how outliers roll.
Okay. Cross, 10-20 cross, right? No. Outlier blocks, no. Earnings are 30 days out, way over here. Stops way down here. That's it. So we're going to hold. Moving on to GLW. Cross, no. Blocks, there is one right here, but it's less than 120 calendar days, so nothing to do there. Earnings, 15 days, nothing to do. And stops are not hit, nothing to do. Joe, it's that easy. It's that easy when you have a plan to go A, B, C, D, I'm done. It's really that easy.
It was fast too.
Yeah, I mean, legit. It's cross, no. Stop, cross, blocks, no blocks up here. Earnings out in the future, we got 9 days. Stops, no. How about roll? We've rolled it once, twice. We could potentially roll UBS a third time. Let's go price that bad boy. Let's go price it. By the way, I am competing in the US Investing Championship. Show us Joe. This is the account that we started with at the start of the year at 50,000 exactly. We're up about 10% or so right now. Let's go to UBS. Not with the slash. Let's try that again. UBS. Okay. So can we roll? Or no, we are definitely not going to roll from the 71 delta to the 36 delta. Joe, you couldn't make me roll with both arms tied behind my back and tearing off one toenail at a time. Not gonna happen. Okay, no way I'm rolling at that. So it's gonna stay where it is. It's gonna stay right there. Okay, let's move on to the next stock here. Skim had a big move up early this morning, but little disappointing since that point. And Skim has $5 wide strikes, SKM. So it's kind of in a situation like UBS where there's really nothing to roll to yet. But don't worry. We still can hold the trade. We don't have to roll. We roll when we can, right? We roll when we can. Embridger. Oh man, the comments, Joe, the comments. It's Embraer. Why can't you say it right? I know. You realize that like that feeds the fire, right? I love to troll. And yeah, there you go. It's Embridger. And in fact, you'll always be known as Embridger. There you go. I wouldn't roll UBS with your money. I hadn't said that in a minute. I hadn't said that even with your money. So here's the thing. Cross, no. Blocks, we got room. This is a bullish block right here. So that would actually give us support. Cross, blocks, earnings are 18 days out. And that's how outliers roll. Oh, stops. Yeah, I forgot it. Why can't you say it right? Exactly. Embridger. Embridger. Okay. Lunar had a big move up this morning. There was a potential to roll if it came up here, but honestly, where it's at right now, not looking to roll. Cross, no. Blocks, no. Earnings are 29 days out. Stops, no. That's how outliers roll. Let's move on to the Googs. Cross, no. Blocks, no. Earnings, 9 days out. And stops, no. All right, that's how outliers roll. We could move on. Isn't that cool, Joe? I love it. Cross, blocks, earnings, stops. That's how outliers roll. Too easy. Now, is there stuff going on with these stocks that, oh my gosh, you can't be invested in this stock because don't you know this news thing? I don't care. If it's not changing the price off the trajectory it's on right now, I really don't care. In fact, I did see some news on Google hold on. Where did I see that? In the news stories here. It was top mentions today. Yeah, it was right there. Top mentions today. And I was like, ooh, what's going on? Googs. What's going on, Googs? So I went over here and I went to Goog. Why Goog and not Google? Well, the reason was the Goog pulled through on my screener. So that's why I went with that one. And then I saw the news over here and I was like, what's going on? Google will release new interface focused chips. And there's going to be a day next week. Wall Street analyst updates Google stock price target. Oh, there you go. Lots of positive news coming through on Google. In fact, you could come over here to sentiment and pop this open. And you can see this has had a lot of positive news. Now, granted, it could have negative news and it's going to do what it's going to do. But as long as the price is going up, that's what I know. Embraer just got rebranded to Embridger. That's right. Embridger. It is official. And they're going to send me a consulting fee for the privilege. How about NEM? Cross? No. Blocks? No. Earnings? 3 days out. Stops? Not hit. That's how outliers roll. We can move on. BCS? Cross? No. Blocks? No. Earnings? 8 days out. And stops? No. We can move on. That's how outliers roll. IAG? Hold up. We may have to do something here. Cross. At this moment, it absolutely is crossed. The 10 is under the 20. How do I know this? Because it's really, really tight. You could do all the zoomies. You could. Or over here on the right-hand side, because my 10 EMA is blue and my black EMA line right here is the 20. The 10 is 3 cents under the 20. Joe, that annoys the mess out of me. I don't like it when it's close like this. Now, granted, if we give it another 10, 15 minutes or so and it's still at that point, I will exit. Hands down for sure. No doubt about it. But I just loathe when it's this close. So potentially, yes. Cross. Blocks. This block right here is a short time block. We don't have to worry about that. Earnings are 15 days out. Stops are not hit yet. In fact, what I'd like to do is measure from the opening to here. That's $1.67. Then what I want to do is come over here to the ATR value. It was $1.10. So it's roughly 1.6, 1.5 ATRs down from our entry point. Joe, do you know what the average trade loss ended up being in our back test? If you said, what? Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
It looks like minus 1.384.
Yeah. If you said minus 1.384, you would be correct. How far is this off? It's about 1.5. So that falls right in line with our expectancy. How cool is that? How
Very,
cool
very
is
cool. Very cool.
Now,
We do have a question in the chat, Chris.
Let's go.
Now
Give me that.
you mentioned that you would not jump on this cross right now, basically because it hasn't closed on that cross. But you're going to take the trade by the end of the day because it's going to close under that cross, right?
It will. And that's the thing, is that I'm going to let it work for a few more minutes, right? Maybe 10, 15 minutes or so. Get closer to the end of the day, because if I have the cross happen today, that is my exit signal. Okay, that is my exit signal. Now, tomorrow, can it go up? It could, but here's the thing, Joe. It will start tomorrow with the 1020 already crossed down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. So what's an example of an exit that you would take in the middle of a day? Maybe the 3 ATR emergency exit?
That is that, or an order block, right? That or crashing into an order block. Now, I don't want that to happen. That is a worst case scenario type of day, and it can happen. It can happen, absolutely. And that's why we need to cut our loser short, right? As soon as we get one of those reasons to get out, we got to get out. So like I say, it's got 3 pennies. Honestly, I don't know where it's going to go. Let's go to 5-minute chart. Looks like it's trending down, and that's fine. I'm not going to stress about it, right? And why am I not going to stress about it? Because I already planned on having a 43% loss rate, because losing is a natural consequence of trading, just like winning is a natural consequence of trading. Okay. So we don't have to stress on it. We just move. We just exit and we just move on. We'll come back to this one in a couple minutes and just see what happens. Looking at Deutsche Bank, cross, no. Blocks, no. Earnings are 9 days out. And stops, no. That's how outliers roll. We can move on. Oklo, we put this one on yesterday. Cross, no. Blocks, way up here. Earnings are 29 days out, way over here. And stops are not hit. So that's how outliers roll. We can move on to VST. Ooh, VST is taking it on the nose today, isn't it? So cross, no. Blocks, no. Earnings are 17 days and stops are not hit. So I don't have to do anything. So really the only thing we have to do is close IAG, and we can give that just a couple minutes. Joe, in the meantime, while we're waiting, I want to, what was it? I wanted to talk about the portfolio tracker and jump into why we looked to roll. Because this is our data on the backtest, right? So the winning trades on average end at 2.2 ATRs up. The losing trades on average end down about 1.4 ATRs. Now remember, that's on average, okay? Not all of them will look like this. But the first time we look to roll is at the half ATR, because on average, even the losing trades at some point during their life cycle go up 0.6 ATR. And it's really cool to see IAG act textbook. Because how high up did it go? How many ATRs up did it go? Just over half an ATR. And so what did I do when it got to that point? I rolled it. I think this is such a cool example of a trade that's just following textbook, right? Now, will they all work like this? Of course not. But initially, I paid $3.86 for this option. I rolled it for 70 cents. And I rolled it on April 14th. I rolled the 17s to the 18s for 70 cents. Joe, you're doing the Lord's work over here, typing all this out. Thank you for that. So it makes it super easy to just pop in and see the notes up there. So that's what I did and when I did it. So looking at the option, actually, let me go over here. Looking at this, when I rolled it for 70 cents, that was 70 divided by 386 18%. So I took 18% of the risk off the table. So this cannot be 100% of the risk that we started with. It cannot be that because I already took 18 cents off, or 18% off, I should say. I took 70 cents off. So if we were to market right now, and I don't know where I'll get out, but we'll check it in just a few minutes. Let's say that I closed IAG at $1.57, right? As much as that sucks, at the same time, I already took 70 cents plus $1.57, meaning that I would be a 40% loss versus a 59% loss. How cool is that, right? How cool is that? That's not cool, Chris. It's a lot. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. I'm taking a loss that's about a third less. I mean, realistically speaking, it's about a third less than I would if I had just left it without having rolled it at all. So there is a great representation as to why, as soon as we get to that half ATR, I'm looking to roll as fast as I can, take that risk off the table. Does that make sense, Joe?
Yeah. It does. And I agree with it so much that sometimes I'll take a roll in the middle of the day. Like if I see this thing has gone over to half ATR and it's ready to be rolled and I can find a contract, I'm going to just roll it because it's so important for me to get that risk off the table as soon as I can. It is so hard to make money. I don't want to give it away, man.
Great point. It's a great point. And in fact, this spreadsheet is linked down below so you can follow along with every trade that I do in the US Investing Championship. Just right by doing that. Joe, all right, there's a new person here, the Duke of Foxborough. Well, how you doing, Duke of Foxborough? I'm super glad you're here. Thanks for joining us, right?
It's great to have you here. And yes, you are in the right place. As a matter of fact, there's only one place better you could be, and that's at Outlier Training with Joe, where you learn all the way from what is a stock to how to trade options. And you can choose if you want to trade options or not. Because if you're like me, when you're first starting out, you are definitely afraid of options. So go watch some training videos and get your foundation under you before you start trading real money.
I agree. And you don't have to trade options. I was talking with my friend Justin, my real life friend Justin, and we were talking about because he was getting all the Discord alerts and he's like, Chris, you were so busy lately. And I'm like, I am, right? There are seasons for trading and seasons for waiting. And right now we're in the season of trading. And I was like, but listen, you don't have to go through and find all the options, bro. You could just buy the stock, right? If you see that I bought Google stock, you don't have to go through and find which expiration, which strike, whatever. If you want to just make it that simple, you could just go with the stock itself. Now, OVTLYR is not meant to be copy trading. We don't want you copy trading, but it will give you a leg up to understand what I'm buying and why I'm buying it. What was that? Thursday morning, Joe is live at 11.
Hey, and this is important for our new customers. So on this Thursday, hour and a half after market open, we're going to have a new customer orientation, which we do every couple of weeks typically. You're going to find the invite inside Discord, and you'll be able to jump into the launch pad, be on stage if you want, or you can type in some questions and we'll answer them for you. But it's all about what do you do when you become an outlier? Like, where do you start? How do you get resources? How do you learn? How do you start doing some paper trades, for instance? It's a great place to go if you are like our brand new friend, the Duke of Foxborough, and you're just getting started out.
That's right. And Guinnesses are at 12. That's right. Videos at 11, Guinness at 12. That's perfect. Tell you why who's going to bring the coffee with a little Guinness on the side. The morning average Joe show. How you like that?
There you go.
Let's see. Several questions came through in the chat. Let me answer those real quick while I got a couple minutes. Vincent says, I rolled Lunar this morning, but not sure if I should have left the order open. The bid and ask was 45 cents. I assume that's the spread there. When I put the order in, but the spread widened out. And although I got 68, I think my contract lost. Okay. This is a great point. In fact, what I'd like to do is share with you some of these trades that I'm up on, but they're going to look down in the account. Let's actually, and first off, turn off your P&L like now. But since you mentioned it, I want to show you this real quick. Portfolio, and I'm going to do P&L. I'm going to do an ad. First off, turn off your P&L. So for example, this says that I'm down $8,000 on these trades. Joe, What am I doing here? I should be like ashamed of myself. Well, first off, let's talk about Google. Right, this Goog right here, this contract that I bought when I rolled shows a loss. But if I look at Google right here, it shows that I'm up 59%. How can that reconcile, Joe? So let's look at it, right? The current value of the options that I own is 2607. So let's just mark this to market real quick. 2607. So this is, yes, this is the most up-to-date price on this. I'm up 48% on my Google. Now, it shows that I'm down since I rolled to the new strike. Okay. And let's go look at the Google chart real quick. So I think this is a really good question. And I have heard lots of people in the past be like, but I rolled and now I'm losing money. You may be down on what you rolled from, but you've got all the amount credited to you already. Exactly. So I'm still up because I rolled 1, 2, 3, 4. I've rolled 4 times on Google. Is that right? Oh, hang on. Is it right? I need to double check. Oh, no. That's what I originally paid for. Hang on. 380, 415. What's this at? 380, 415, 840. 840. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hang on. 410, 415. I need to double check my numbers there, Joe. I may have only rolled it 3 times and not 4. So I may have had a mistake in my my numbers over here. So if we do that, oh, that's okay. I'm up 35%. My bad.
Oh,
I'm only up 35% instead of 43%. Okay, that's my bad. Because I rolled 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, 380, 415, 840. Yes. Okay. Andrews has rolled it 4 times though. Okay, cool. So point being is that while you may be down on the contract you rolled 2, that's not your only position. You've had it 1, 2, 3, and then rolled it those times, assuming you did, right? That's what I've done. And so don't stress about it. Don't stress about it because you still have all that credit built up into your account. Nobody can take that from you. Does that make sense, Joe?
it does. Yeah. And that's very key, especially for the new folks who are trying to even understand what rolling is. Yeah. When you look at your P&L and it shows you down, you have to remember that you got credited when you rolled. And if you rolled with a debit, you did it wrong and you need to learn from that mistake because you don't want to keep doing that.
That's right. You don't want to keep doing it. Stanley's saying, is the screener not working today? The screener is not working if you have certain criterias checked, right? But let's say that you reset your filter to just be wide open. Oh, it's working. It's working for sure. I would imagine, I'm going to open this all the way. I would imagine you still have sector relative greed at over 1. And we talked about earlier how there are no sectors that have relative greed greater than 1. And that's why it's not showing anything for you. That's what I would imagine. Luke says, I'm happy when I talk about OVTLYR to others. People are starting to listen. That's awesome. Thanks, Luke. Hey, by the way, we have a referral program. When you tell everybody about OVTLYR, send me your referral link and we'll send you some dollars for getting new customers. How's that? You cool with that? I like that idea. More money, mo better. More money, mo better. Okay, Joe, we're about 10 minutes to the close. And so let's take that one last look at IAG. And did it come back? Well, let's be realistic here, Joe. We may have to take a loss on this trade. The 10 is 3 cents below the 20. And that's just what it's going to have to be. Is it a shame? Yeah. But it's also part of the game, right? It's also part of the game. So the way that I'm going to execute this trade is I'm going to go in my family account real quick and close IAG. And then we'll do this together here in just a moment. 2 seconds here. Maybe replace it because it's not filled. Okay, I'm out of it at $1.55 in the family account. Let's go here to IAG and I'll walk you step by step on how we're going to do this. So IAG, and Joe and I are going to pop over here. We're going to turn off the comments. We're going to go to IAG and we're going to go to the lightning bolt, the Harry Potter button. And we're going to say send to ticket. Actually, let me clear this ticket first. And then we're going to say send to ticket. IAG, send to ticket. Okay. So now I have 17 IAGs. I've rolled it once already, and now I need to close it. So I'm looking at the price right here. The mid price is $1.52. I'll just start at $1.52 and see what happens. I'm gonna hit send. So this is selling to close, filled for $1.52. So I'm totally out of IAG here, totally out of it. And I have no idea what's going to happen. And I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. So I am out of IAG for $1.52, 1.52 or 152. Yeah. But remember, I rolled it already. I rolled it once already. So while I did take a loss overall, it's a smaller loss because I rolled it for 70 cents of credit originally. 70 plus $1.52 means, you know what? It's a 42% loss on that trade, which sounds like a lot. But remember, we have a lot of other stuff going on. Sounds like a lot, but it's really not, because on the account impact, it was about 4.5%. It was about 4.5%. Chris, that's huge, but it's not. Because remember, I understood the risk that I took originally when I put on the trade. I had position sized it in a way that if I had closed it here, it would have been roughly a 6% loss. Okay. So this falls right in line with the risk that I was willing to take. Senior Wahoo says we did roll it 4 times on Google. Did we?
Yeah, I was
Hold
just
on,
thinking I can
let's
go
go
through
through.
Discord with you if you want to check your notes.
Hang on. Let's search for Goog here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I did roll it 4 times. Hang on. Let's go. Let's go in here. This is gonna be more better.
Definitely bought at 410.
And hang on. I want to see Goog. I will tell you, the Tradier like historical is not the easiest to use because it shows nothing. But I know I didn't do anything today on Goog. So, like, do I have to do this day by day? I don't know. That's annoying. If y'all know an easier way to do that, let me know. Advanced stage orders, no. Order status filled. Oh, here we go. Because I don't have to go day by day, and it doesn't give me a window. It just says, you know, give you the date, like April 16th. Apply. Right. So there's everything I did on April 16th. I don't know. That's annoying. All right, Joe. Let's walk through this. So Goog.
Okay. So you opened at 410, April 10th.
Actually, yeah, let's confirm this in Tradier. Yeah, I like that idea. April 10th. So symbol Goog, April 10th. April 10th, right there. Apply. There's Goog right there. I bought it for $31.24. Do we agree? Goog. Where is it at? $31.24. Okay. I concur.
Check your chart, because that's where you're missing your note, I think. Perfect.
31.24. Okay. Yeah.
So then April 13 is the next day.
April 13. Yeah. April 14.
Okay. The 13th was for 380 credit.
Yep.
The 14th was for 415 credit.
Okay.
The 15th was for $4.10 credit.
Oh, I did have a 15th. Okay, cool. Let me go to the 15th. You're right. You're right. There it is. So I did do it 4 times. Look at that.
Awesome.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And so we can track it the whole way, right? The 290, 295, 295, 300, 300, 305, 305, 3. There you go. Okay. So I did make more money on Goog than I expected. Cool. I'll take it. So we did do a 410. I knew we did. I was just testing you guys.
That's right.
I was just testing y'all. All right. So if I were to liquidate Google right now, what is the price of Google? And I don't like mark to market. I would rather wait till we close. 25.93. 25.93. 25.93 gets me a gain of 48% on that. So yeah, that's how you can keep track of it. All right. Does that make sense?
I love it.
FJV Delta Deep. NVIDIA has a theta of around -12. Is that concerning? It could be, but that's not part of my plan. That's not part of my plan. Now, what is theta? So theta is the cost on a per day basis. Let's go to NVIDIA. And this is what I own right here. Oh, look, new strikes. I wanted to mention this. Okay, check this out. So anytime that you're in a stock and you go to an options chain and you see these zeros right here, I can totally understand where you'd be like, what the hell just happened here? Why is this happening? No, something's wrong. Actually, this is great. They just added half strikes. The half strikes just got added today. And so if you looked at Friday's video and you looked at today, you'll see we didn't have 182.5. We didn't have 187.5. This, as it gets closer to expiration, the market makers will add in additional strikes. That's actually great. Makes it easier for rolling's sake. So don't be scared of these zeros. Look at all liquidity around it. You're not going to have an issue getting filled if you go to one of these with a zero. Does that make sense, Joe?
It does. Yeah. I was grateful to see that for Lunar today as well.
Okay, cool. So back to the theta plan. Remember, theta falls into extrinsic value. Now, extrinsic value is not made of just theta, but that is one of the components. Theta is your time value. Over time, all options will lose their extrinsic value. Hold on to this. All options will lose their extrinsic value. Out of the money options or at the money have a greater slope. In the money options, which is what I trade, have a shallower slope, I guess is the right word. And because of that, it's one thing I don't stress on. It's one thing I do not stress on. But extrinsic value will decay to zero on every strike, on every stock, on every expiration, every time. No matter what, it will always decay to zero. Intrinsic value is the difference between your current price and your strike price. And this will be the only value at expiration that it's that is any value on that strike. So if it has a theta of 12, I guess that means it's going to decay by $12 a day. I'm assuming that's what the 12 is representing by that person's comment. And that's fine, because we've already tried to minimize the amount of extrinsic value to start with, right? So the extrinsic value portion of the total price, 247 divided by 1965, means 12% of the total cost of the option is extrinsic. Now, could I make that zero? I wish. That is the cost of your lunch, because there is no free lunch. That is the cost of your lunch to trade options. It is an unavoidable consequence of trading options. So, Joe, I have some cash. Maybe I should put it in Plan ETF, right? Maybe I should put it in Plan ETF.
It's worth checking. It's definitely worth checking.
Let's see. Can we put it in Plan ETF? What's in the... Let's see. All I got to do is throw up the value zone real quick and I'll know. Oh, yikes. No way. Definitely can't put it in TQ. What about SPXL? Oh, no. These are actually at exit signals, not entry signals. So therefore, the only thing I could put it in is SGov, and I would make all 34 cents by tomorrow, which may not be worth the cost associated with picking up SGov. So I'm just going to leave it in cash, and maybe by tomorrow we'll be able to buy something. We'll see. Because there is like regulatory fees and stuff associated with it, so there's really not time for that. Joe, I think that's going to wrap it today. We covered a lot. And again, apologies for being a little bit scatterbrained at the beginning, but the objective here is to help you save time, make money, and start winning with less risk. So if that sounds good to you, Joe, what do you think they should do?
I think they should go to OVTLYR.com, consider becoming a subscriber, and if they want to check it out with a trial membership, you can do it right there. Then come back and watch one of these videos right here.
Watch one of these videos, and we'll talk soon.